Hey, I'm Taylor, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Blue. It's a pretty good one. Have you ever played Operation and actually learned something? Yes, I have. I learned that I probably shouldn't do actual operations, at least not with my, 10-year-old hand-eye coordination. What's the best type of course to balance MCAT prep and a full-time job? So that's definitely a big undertaking, and you're going to want to stretch out your overall study time so that you're not trying to rush or cram. I think the actual best type would vary kind of based on your personal preferences. If you're someone that needs accountability, going for something that meets like once or twice a week, having someone to kind of check in with you would be best. But if you're the type of person that needs more flexibility, going for some sort of like self-paced course where you've just got lots of videos and such to go through would be best for you. What's the last book you read and loved? I really, really loved The Three Body Problem by Cixin Liu. Really good sci-fi dystopian and very hard science in it. Which fictional character do you think would ace the MCAT? I gotta go with Spencer Reid from Criminal Minds. What are the key differences between studying for the MCAT on my own versus enrolling in a prep course? And how do I decide which is better for me? Both are absolutely doable. I think the benefit of a prep course is that all of the resources are in one place. You've got some sort of like accountability, some things to check off a list, or live classes to attend. Whereas if you're studying on your own, you have to be a lot more personally responsible and disciplined to keep up with things, to make sure you're making consistent progress, to go seek out those materials. But I've absolutely seen people succeed with both approaches. Are there any specific tips for non-traditional students or those who have been out of school for a while? So we see plenty of students like this, and I think the biggest thing is to acknowledge that you might need a bit longer and that you might have to do some deeper content review. If you weren't a science major in undergrad, you might have to learn some of that material perhaps for the first time. So you want to make sure that you've got the resources to seek out that information, that you've got structure to follow so that you can learn those fundamentals. The other thing, if you've been out of school, if you're a non-trad student, you might be working full time, you might have a family, doing what you can to lessen some of those other responsibilities, at least while preparing, whether that means seeking out more support from family, if that means taking a step back from a job, maybe going to part-time if that's manageable. If you're here and you're ready to commit to this, then you need a plan. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? You know how people always refer to like time management as like keeping balls in the air? The best piece of advice I got was that some balls are glass and some balls are plastic. You really just need to learn which are which, what things can be dropped, what things can't, and kind of prioritize your time that way. Which section of the MCAT do you think students find most challenging? I think the notorious one is CARS, which is the reading section, and it's because you can't go memorize stuff. It is purely a skill and a critical thinking test. And so people often have to learn how to study and think differently for that section. You can't kind of brute force your way through it.